Hello, my name is Laura Hambrecht, and I work for the University of Missouri Center for Health Policy. I'm the program manager for Western Missouri, working on the No Kid Hungry Missouri project. Today's webinar on USDA after-school meals programs will go into detail regarding the need for after-school meals in Missouri, program basics, best practices, and resources for implementation. Although after-school meals is not a traditional area of focus for most schools, the programs represent a substantial opportunity to beat childhood hunger. And today I'll be talking to you about how you can provide snacks and meals to all of your students after school for free. For a quick introduction, No Kid Hungry Missouri is a Missouri implementation of the National No Kid Hungry model, which was developed by Share Our Strength, a nonprofit campaign focused on supporting qualified entities in the use of USDA child nutrition programs. The No Kid Hungry Missouri model is funded by the Missouri Department of Social Services and delivered in collaboration by the MU Center for Health Policy and the Family and Community Trust. We provide support and technical assistance to schools, private organizations, businesses, and individuals in order to break down barriers and implement common sense solutions to ensure that kids have access to nutritious meals. The Family and Community Trust, or FACT, is a public-private partnership that's guided by a board of directors from Missouri's child and family-facing executive agencies and private sector leaders from throughout Missouri. FACT's mission is to promote and support effective public-private partnerships and community involvement to develop innovative solutions for improving the lives of Missouri's children and families. FACT supports the work of 20 well-respected community partnerships across the state. FACT's role in No Kid Hungry Missouri is to provide programmatic direction for the project and also administer mini grants to sponsors of child nutrition programs. The MU Center for Health Policy provides service and policy support research to address health equity and improve the social determinants of health for all Missourians. CHP collaborates across MU's 5 campuses, works closely with state executive agencies serving Missouri's families, and provides technical assistance and analytical support to state, regional, and local policymakers. In addition to No Kid Hungry Missouri, CHP initiated and supports the Missouri Health Equity Collaborative, the Missouri Council for Activity and Nutrition, Kids Win Missouri, the Missouri Healthcare Workforce Project, and provides leadership for the Missouri Kids Count program in addition to other work. So let's talk a little bit about child hunger. Here in Missouri, child hunger is a big issue, and the next few slides will give you an idea of the scale of food insecurity throughout our state. There are a lot of different statistics that one could look at to inform their understanding of hunger and food insecurity. No Kid Hungry Missouri focuses on Missouri's free and reduced meal eligible student population, and the reason for this is the sake of simplicity. For us, it's really not difficult to imagine that a child who lives in a family that struggles financially may miss a meal or two here and there, making them food insecure. In Missouri, 50% of the kids that are enrolled in school are eligible for a free or reduced price meal. As of October 2019, that was 451,174 children. On this map, you can see a county-level breakdown of the free or reduced lunch student population in Missouri. In the image, darker red indicates a higher percentage of free or reduced meal eligible students. 68% of Missouri's 115 counties have a free or reduced meal eligible student population of over 50%. As you can see, child hunger is present throughout all corners of our state and is found in rural, urban, and suburban communities. So how can we look at these numbers as an opportunity to positively affect children's lives? No Kid Hungry Missouri is working to end childhood hunger in Missouri by promoting the effective and efficient use of existing infrastructure and resources to increase participation in and the availability of USDA child nutrition programs. We focus on 3 key categories. The first is promoting the adoption of breakfast after the bell models, like breakfast in the classroom, grab-and-go breakfast, and second chance breakfast. Also, we are developing partnerships among schools and community organizations to increase the availability of after-school meals and snack programs like the Child and Adult Care Food Program. And we're working with schools and community partners to develop innovative solutions like mobile meals to increase the availability of and participation in summer meals programs. But today, we are here to talk specifically about after-school meals. The time between lunch and supper is often one of the most active times of the day for kids, especially those that are involved in after-school activities. So for the 50% of kids whose family may struggle financially and struggle to make ends meet, after school can kind of be a hardship. And for too many Missouri kids, school lunch may be their last chance for a nutritious meal that day. No Get Hungry and Share Our Strength did a survey of low-income parents a few years ago and found that 92% of kids do eat something during the afternoon in between lunch and potentially their supper. They also found that 87% of families are buying food specifically for that time of day, and those family respondents report spending an average of $740 per year on just that afternoon meal. 59% of families surveyed said that money is hard to put together, and 25% of those families worry that they simply do not have enough resources to provide their children with nutritious meals in the afternoon. So after-school meals can help these families by feeding students and then also easing financial burdens on working parents. So as of October 2019, 12% of the free and reduced meal eligible students in Missouri were also receiving an after-school meal. No Get Hungry Missouri's after-school participation target is 20%. So in order to reach that goal, we are out here recruiting new sponsors all over the state. Many hands make light work, and more schools and organizations offering after-school meals means reaching and eventually exceeding this goal together. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the different after-school meals programs work. There are two different options for schools to operate after-school meal or snack programs. Here on the slide, you'll see that the two are NSLP, which is run through the National School Lunch Program, and the other is the Child and Adult Care Food Program. So here I'd like to highlight the difference between these two programs. NSLP snacks can be operated only by school food authorities. It allows schools to serve a two-component snack on the days when school is in session. The snack is reimbursable and is calculated based on the income eligibility of the student to which the meal is served, whether they are free, reduced, or paid student. In Missouri, the NSLP snack program is administered by DESE. The Child and Adult Care Food Program, or CACFP, is available to be administered by schools, nonprofit organizations, government agencies, or faith-based organizations. A CACFP sponsor may serve both a two-component snack and a five-component meal on school days, but also holidays, weekends, and emergency school closures. CACFP snacks and meals are free to all students ages 0 to 18, no matter if the student is enrolled in the sponsor's program or not. Additionally, the reimbursement rate for CACFP meals and snacks are fixed and reimbursed at the free rate, no matter the income eligibility of the student. So for the rest of this presentation, we are going to be focusing on the CACFP at-risk after-school program. This is because CACFP is much less well-known, and thus we want to focus on providing the information you need to make the best decision for your organization. It also offers a great opportunity to ensure kids have access to high-quality, nutritious meals, and it offers schools an excellent opportunity to increase food service revenues. There are a few requirements for operating CACFP. In order to be eligible to run a CACFP after-school meals program, sites where meals are served must meet all applicable licensing or health and safety standards. Schools actually already meet this requirement for other meals service, thus this requirement is waived for school building sites. Additionally, sites must be located in the zone of attendance of a school with 50% or higher free or reduced meal eligible student population. Next, the site must also provide regularly scheduled educational or enrichment activities in a supervised setting that's open to all students. However, students do not have to participate in the activities to receive a meal. The last requirement is that the meal needs to be consumed on site. So kids could eat the meal in the cafeteria, the classroom, in the gym, anywhere on the site grounds. So regarding the enrichment activity requirement, Many school sponsors wonder if their current after-school activity offerings will qualify as an open enrichment activity. Important questions to consider, including what activities you already offer. Are the activities open to all students, or are they selective? Perhaps there's a mixture of both. If you have at least one activity that is available for any student, you can serve any child on campus a CACFP after-school meal. The student could be involved in an activity like art club, band, speech, a language club, or athletics. Additionally, a student does not even have to participate in any activity. If they plan to spend some time after school socializing with their friends while they wait for a parent to pick them up, then they can be served a CACFP after school meal. So CACFP at risk after school offers a great opportunity to ensure kids have access to high quality, nutritious meals, and it also offers schools an excellent opportunity to increase food service revenues. The reimbursement rate for after school meals is high. In the 2019-20 school year, a snack was reimbursed at 94 cents, while the five-component supper was reimbursed at $3.65. Now, the rates for the 2020-21 school year will be published in July. For an example of the reimbursement opportunity, please see the chart on the slide. The average Missouri school has about 319 students and 158 free and reduced lunch participants each day. If the average school served just 20% of those free and reduced lunch participants in after-school meal, it would mean an additional $20,000 in reimbursement revenue per year. And this revenue will only increase if serving more students. The reimbursement revenue is required to be reinvested into the food service department, which means that organizations can utilize the funds to pay for kitchen equipment, additional staff, etc., thus creating a sustainable program. So we have talked a lot about the basics of after-school meal programs, and now it's time to learn how to make the most out of the programs once you've got them up and running. The next several slides will present ways for you and your school or organization to maximize participation and feed kids throughout the community for free. The CACFP After School Meals Program offers districts and nonprofit organizations a lot of flexibility in their service delivery model. If you have the ability to serve meals directly after the bell rings and before dismissal at the end of the day, you can also choose to serve after activities have wrapped up for the evening. For nonprofit organizations, you can serve right when kids arrive or before they leave. You'll have to select a service window of time when you complete your application, but that time of service is up to you. Another option to consider is where you'll be serving the meals. Sponsors have to serve the meals indoors and they must be consumed on site, but other than that, you've got options. You can serve cafeteria line style, deliver boxed or bagged meals to the classrooms or other activity rooms, or students can pick up the meals from a specified location and eat somewhere else on campus, even outside at a picnic table if the weather is nice. While you're considering these options, you can also think about who will be receiving the meals. The No Kid Hungry Missouri team will always encourage sponsors to maximize the number of kids that are being served, so we challenge you to think about these questions from that point of view. Where are the majority of the students and when is the best time to serve them? So another big consideration that's worth your time to discuss is which after-school meal you will serve to your students. With CACFP, you've got the option to serve a two-component snack, a five-component supper, or both. The five-component supper needs to include each of the following items: a fluid milk, a fruit, vegetable, whole grain, and a meat or meat alternate. The snack serves two of these components. Remember, both come with a reimbursement. The snack is reimbursed at 94 cents, while the supper is reimbursed at $3.64 as of last year. If you are only going to serve one, my team will encourage you to serve the five-component supper for multiple reasons. First, of course, you can see here, based on the picture in the slide, that the supper provides a very nutritionally significant meal, which is particularly important for students who may not receive a meal between lunch at school and breakfast the next day. Secondly, the five-component supper comes with a high reimbursement rate that's almost 4 times the reimbursement of a two-component snack. You can see from this picture that it is not 4 times as much food. So we also have examples of an easily prepared menu option that we'll discuss on the next slide. But before moving on, I want to remind you that your organization can consider serving both options as well. Perhaps you're serving students staying after for the track team, and they just need a quick snack for an energy boost before practice, and then can be served a larger supper meal before heading home. As we said, the programs are adaptable to your needs. As we mentioned before, the CACFP program is pretty flexible, and when you're deciding between serving a 2 or 5 component after school meal, we have seen multiple models work. You may choose to serve a hot meal option at the cafeteria. You can choose to serve a chicken dinner with green beans and mashed potatoes if that's what your students want. However, you also have the option to serve a cold meal, and we have seen this work successfully in multiple districts. What you see in the photo is an example from the Springfield School District. They serve a 5 component supper to their students, but have rebranded it as a super snack. By serving a cold meal, they've found that they can prepare them right after lunch service, store them easily, and even utilize them the next day if they're not all consumed on the first day they're prepared. Also, you can see from the picture that this is a nutrient-dense meal with a fruit, vegetable, meat alternate, fluid milk, and whole grain. And the bag that's served in underneath is actually compostable. Regarding the branding of the super snack, we have noticed in some communities that certain parents will not like the idea of supper being served at school. When a lot of us think about supper, we think of it as a big sit down family meal. And some parents, especially those that can provide, may want their child to eat supper or dinner at home. So, branding your meal as a super snack can dramatically change the way that kids, parents, teachers, administrators all see after school meals programs. A super snack still has all the components for a reimbursable meal, but the name doesn't carry the weight and meaning of supper. You can name your after school meal whatever you like, as long as the correct components are accounted for. And note here regarding meal service delivery, as we mentioned, this can look many different ways, but we will say that serving supper in the classroom is a model that we recommend for elementary schools. Meals are delivered to the classroom and served directly following the final bell, 15 to 20 minutes before the buses depart. Elementary schools in the No Kid Hungry pilot had higher participation rates in supper in the classroom than in school lunch. As after school meal programs are not widely known, it's important to advertise the new service effectively. Some examples that are listed here are making a morning announcement, sending home flyers, discussing the program at parent meetings, utilizing websites and social media, and even putting up posters at local businesses. Here you'll see an example of a tweet that was sent out by Operation Food Search in St. Louis announcing free after-school meals at libraries. You'll likely see higher participation in the program if you promote using a combination of these methods. So there are several aspects of the program that you will need to address in your planning process. Of course, you'll need to think about timing and logistics. When will you serve the meal? How and where will you serve it? Packaging and branding. So what types of food will you use and how will you present it to kids to make it attractive? Transportation. Some kids simply cannot stay after school because of transportation issues. So how will you address this issue? Let's see, remember, you don't need to be the sole solution to all the challenges faced when building a successful program, but it's really important to think about how you can serve the most children possible. You also want to think about meal quality. What are you going to serve? And want to make sure that your kids are interested in eating it. So think about those menus carefully. Promotion. So how are you going to ensure that everyone knows about the program and how will you encourage participation? And partnerships. So what are some of the organizations in your community who may have resources to help you make the after school meals program successful? Lots of things to think about. So let's take a quick look at the application process for CACFP. In Missouri, the CACFP program is administered by the Department of Health and Senior Services. They have a lot of information on their website. You can access the application as well as review program rules and requirements. Plus, representatives from the Department of Health and Senior Services are there to help guide you through the process. As you get started, other resources are available to you online. The No Kid Hungry Center for Best Practices is the most comprehensive collection of resources for after-school meals programs. Here, you'll find everything you need from reports highlighting the benefits of after-school meals to implementation toolkits and checklists. Serving after-school meals is a win for students, parents, and schools. No Get Hungry Missouri can be a resource for you as you look to implement this program, and we can help you strengthen it too. We offer technical assistance, can share best practices from districts like yours who are already serving after-school meals, and we have grant funding available for equipment and technology that will help you create a sustainable program. If you have any questions regarding aspects of the CACFP After School Meals Program, please reach out to myself or Jeremy Malarski, Program Manager for Eastern Missouri. And if you have a few more minutes to spare, please watch the following video for a testimonial from an after-school meals operator that we hope will inspire you to consider providing after-school meals to your students. Thank you so much for watching.
I have a chance to see them get engaged. I have a chance to see them come in, and some of them are hungry. And to some of them, it's the only meal. And it makes that much more of a difference when I see them coming in and they're excited and full of energy. Say, hey, what are we having today, Mr. Taylor?
My grandmother and I and a couple of other kids make dinner for kids that I'm helping kids so they can have a good meal before they go home.
Because if the basic necessities aren't met, food, shelter, clothing, especially food, how can you begin to focus and say, all right, I want you to read this book and respond to this story and tell me whether or not you comprehended it. If your belly's hungry, you can't focus on that. That's not what your body's going to focus on. It's what your mind is going to focus on. It's going to focus on what I need physically. That's food.